Your Excellency, Mama Rachel Ruto, all PSs and all protocols observed. Good afternoon. I think it's afternoon. Bwana asifiwe. Bwana asifiwe huko nyuma. I don't have a written speech, but as I was sitting there, I was reminded of Australia. I talk about Australia because mumesikia mahali inaitwa Australia. The country was actually founded by prisoners. I was reminded of a book that I was reading, and I was thinking to myself, let me not, nisikuje na kizungu nyingi, I just have a small message. Some years back, there was a governor called Arthur Phillip. Kulikuwa na wafungwa wengi huko Britain na wapi, and every time they were thinking the prisons are too small, they didn't want to expand, so they started saying now watakuwa wanatuma huko mbali, in some faraway land, which happened to be Australia. So the first ship actually set with 850 prisoners and a governor called Arthur Phillip, and they set base. So I was thinking, why Australia? Because at that time there was nothing, there was no development. Hakuwa na kitu. Ni kama mnatumwa huko kwa wilderness. You reform and then you do what? You come back if you reform. And what did these 850 prisoners do? They built Australia. You understand? They built Australia. And slowly by slowly, kukaanza kuwa na development, ikaanza kukua. Nowadays even Kenyans are trying to go to Australia, right? For greener pastures. So I was thinking to myself, you might be in Langata Women's, but this is your Australia. Sindio? You know, we have a gift as women. God has given us a gift. I'm sorry for the gentlemen in the house. Today is International Women's Day. Just allow me to talk about women. We have a gift as women. It's called resiliency. Kwa Kiswahili inaitwa nini? Udhabi? Yani, anytime when you fall, anytime when something happens to you as a woman, there's that spirit inside you inakuambia tu amka, you need to move on. Amka, you need to move on. Anytime you're met with a challenge, perhaps you are doing something, kitu ikafanyika, as a woman there's something that God gave us, and what you do, you always, something pushes you to wake up and move on. It's called resiliency. The ability to get up and move after failing, after falling, after, meeting challenges. And I want to tell you on this International Women's Day that every woman sitting in this tent has got the gift of resiliency. You might not know it, but you have the gift. And there is a reason that you are here in our Australia. Sindio, there is a reason you are here. You might be here for 2 years, 10 years, life. Just know that there is a reason that you are here and that you have a gift of resiliency. And so you must actually form an Australia within the confines that you are in. Amen? Some of us might be sitting here because we are not confined, but we are in prison in our minds. We are in prison in our lives. Munanipata? We actually are struggling with so much we cannot live out of our prisons. Whether that prison is financial, whether that prison is whatever it is. Some people are sitting here, they are walking free, but they are in prison. But the one thing that you have today, and I want to speak to the women, is use that gift of resiliency. Make something out of your time in this, your Australia. By the time you're leaving this Australia, for those who are leaving, let it be a legacy that you have left behind. It doesn't have to be big. It can be just the spirit of kindness that you're exercising with your fellow prisoners. Munanielewa? Build your own Australia in Langata Women's. I want to wish you a happy International Women's Day. Asante sana.